जय असो!
जय शिवछत्रपती महाराजांचा
जय असो!
जय शिवछत्रपती महाराजांचा
जय असो!
So finally, ladies and gentlemen, our dignitaries are here. I request all of you guys, can you please put your hands together for all dignitaries are here. And the patrons are here. Make a noise for all the dignitaries.
by Sahodaya and his entire team and all the participants. Very good morning to all of you. And, while coming inside, the very energetic dhol welcome and this turban on my head has imbued me with a warrior kind of a spirit today. So, and it gladdens me to see a full house. It's always good to meet all of you, and we are meeting again after a period of 1 year. We last met in Vadodara, and Vadodara was my first experience, my exposure to the CBSE ecosystem, as it were. And I was left very, very impressed with the array of activities which were organized by the CBSE schools of Vadodara region. And I'm sure they are here, so congratulations to you. And I still remember we had a beautiful meeting, and I'm sure this event will be as enriching as the one we had in Vadodara. I thought of what should I talk about in this inaugural session. So I think I'll talk about what has happened since we met last in Vadodara. A lot of things we have moved ahead when we talked last time on, of course, NEP being the focus. A lot of things have been happening on that front. We have embarked on the changes in curriculum. As you are aware, the national curriculum framework is out, both for the foundational stage as well as the secondary education stage. And we already have textbooks of the foundational stage in the market. Textbooks for the secondary education are in the making by NCERT. On other initiatives, we have released, I think Pragya is going to do that, HPC for classes 1 to 3 is final, and we'll be sharing it with you, formally launching it today. We successfully piloted Safal, gave us a lot of learning, and it is now ready to be rolled out for all the CBSE schools. And personally, I think it is the single most important game changer for the CBSE schools in transforming towards competency-based assessment. When you start working with children as young as those who are studying in classes 3 and then gradually build their competencies through classes 5, 8, and then of course the secondary and senior secondary, that is how you build competencies, and Safal will help you and enable you to do that. So I would in fact take this opportunity to urge all of you to actively participate in Safal. I'm sure when Pragya talks to you, she will talk about the schedule of the forthcoming Safal examination as well. Then most of you are aware, we have already introduced the SQUAF framework, which enables you to measure the effectiveness of your school, physical infrastructure, as well as the quality of teaching being imparted in your schools. And we've had a lot of dialogue on this, a lot of webinars have been conducted, and I think most of you now have a very good understanding of SQUAF, and the feedback which we have received from principals is very, very encouraging. We have tried to provide opportunities for our teachers to learn innovative teaching techniques and assessment methods. We started in partnership with APU last year. A batch of about 50 teachers got trained in competency-based assessment. This year we have a batch of 100 who's undergoing training. Again, it's a mere drop in the ocean. We have many teachers to train. So we are in talks with other universities so that we can come up with more courses so that more of your teachers can go and learn how to assess in a better way and how to use these techniques in their classroom teachers so that their students are also adept at competency-based assessment. We have launched, most of you must be aware, the PM eVidya channel, which has been given to CBSE exclusively for teachers training. We have used our resources, that is, our school principals have developed very innovative videos which focus on new pedagogies. And if you have not yet seen the channel, please subscribe to it. Our director training is here. I'll request him to give you a brief when he talks to you of how to install the channel and how to be both a content creator as well as a active participant on the channel. Honorable Education Minister has publicly announced a change in the pattern of board examinations from 2025. We at the board are working out the modalities for the same, and we will come back to you for your suggestions, for your views, and then go ahead to implement it. If you recall, 2023 was the first year after COVID when full-fledged board examinations took place. And there were a lot of apprehensions all around that, how this massive exercise will be conducted after a break of 2 years. But I must congratulate all of you for ensuring the successful conduct of board examinations this year. And please give yourself a big applause for that. And I hope that you will be supporting us and we will again successfully conduct the forthcoming board exams of 2024. We also took some time last year to revisit some of our policies for which there was a demand from all of you. Some changes were made in the way we conduct our student enrichment activities. We have rehauled kind of our sports meet, the policy which is there, the amount of money which is given for organizing, and we've laid down a very detailed SOP on how to conduct the whole exercise. Similarly, the norms for other events like the science exhibition and the heritage quiz have also been revised. And I'm very happy to share that CBSE schools have very actively taken up the imparting of skill education in middle schools. As mandated by NEP, last year in Sahodaya, we had unveiled some of the teaching learning materials specifically developed for the middle school students. And a lot of schools have come on board. We are developing more modules, and I urge all the school principals who have not yet started this for their middle school students to please start skill development modules in their schools from the next session onwards. We have been giving a lot of push to skilling of students. This year we have signed MOUs with industry leaders like Microsoft, IBM, Meta to further offer greater opportunities to both our teachers and our students in the field of digital tech and AI. And I have seen CBSE students in exhibitions who have exhibited their AI-based models with great dexterity. And there is a great demand actually, for CBSE students to come to these exhibitions and exhibit their models. So we are very happy with that. And again, I urge all of you to please give a push to skilling, particularly in the digital tech field. Our training unit has also been busy in the last year. A number of CBPs have been created for teachers on the basis of training need analysis done at the regional level and at the headquarter level. We have tried to focus on training of teachers of foreign schools this year, and we'll be going to all the countries which have CBSE schools, and we will be talking to their teachers on a one-to-one basis. We have tried to continuously hold a dialogue with all of you at a regional level also. A number of regional workshops have been held, notably at Pune, Agartala, Guwahati, Itanagar, Hyderabad and Indore, where we have met in smaller groups and we have tried to put forward what we are doing, and we have tried to understand what issues are being faced with you. Events and functions have been too many to be talked about in detail here. But what I should say is that all the events which CBSE organizes at any level would never be possible without your active support and participation. And as we begin this annual Sahodaya conference, I call upon all of you to be active participants once again and actively share your best practices, interact with your colleagues from the other parts of the country, and support us in bringing about this transformative change which has been talked about since morning. The work has just begun. We have introduced a number of initiatives, but they need to be institutionalized, they need to be internalized over the years, and that will not be possible without your support. So I look forward to your active support for the board in implementing this, in institutionalizing these changes, and helping our schools to become actually global standards in education. And I would also emulate Joseph in thanking Mumbai Sahodaya for hosting us here today. And I look forward to a very meaningful interaction. My congratulations to all the students who gave very beautiful performances. A special thanks to them. And I'll be here, and I look forward to stimulating talks from all the expert speakers we have invited. And I look forward to interacting with all of you. Thank you.
May I request Sri Sanjar Kumar, Secretary, Ministry of Education, to release the e-souvenir. Thank you, sir. It's with great pleasure that we welcome Mr. Sanjar Kumar, Secretary, Ministry of Education, to deliver the inaugural address, wherein Sir will share insights and perspectives that will undoubtedly inspire and guide us in shaping the future of education. Sir, please.
Thank you. My colleague, Srimati Nidhi Chibber, Chairperson CBSE, Vice Chancellor of NIPA, Dr. Shashikala Vanjari ji, Chairperson of Sahodaya Mumbai, Shri Rajiv Garg ji, Director Academics, Joseph Emmanuel, Ranjana ji, and a hall full of, as Manoj Joshi ji was saying, Adhyapak, Upmukh Adhyapak, and Mukhya Adhyapak. You know, my imagination was pretty tickled because after a long time, I heard the word Mukhya Adhyapak being used. I'm very happy to be here and to see and be here with almost, I am told, about 1,000 principals of very eminent CBSE schools from across the country. I also like the word Sahodaya, and I think Mr. Joshi also alluded to it. Collective rise. And I guess collective rise is at the base and essence of the development of the country. So may we all rise in the same collective manner. That's our exhortation and that's our desire. I would just start with a small conversation to which I was a part some time back. We were in Bhubaneswar and the Singapore High Commissioner to India was there and we were talking. And naturally when you talk about Singapore, sooner or later the conversation devolves on Lee Kuan Yew's and his contribution, the statesman. So the High Commissioner pipped up and he said that, you know, once I met him and it was late in the night and the man was great and he was feeling like a child. So he walked into the room and said, sir, can you share the mantra as to what you think has made Singapore and what the kind of vision you've had to make Singapore what it has become today. And he said it in 3 lines. He said, nobody should be out of school. Everyone should have a job. And the job should pay you sufficiently to keep your body and soul together. So these were the 3 points, and I guess if you contemplate on these 3 lines, you will find the essence of just about everything which we are trying to do for the development of the country and for the nation. Nobody should be out of school. And I'm happy that I'm here today in Maharashtra, where Savitribai Phule ji set up the first girls' school in Bhidawada in Pune on 1st January 1848. 1848, this was before any of the universities which were set up and came up in 1856. We got a head start on girls' education, but did we take that opportunity to saturate it? No, we did not do it. And I guess there has been some kind of a price which we have paid for it. Those of you who would want to see the countries which have done well in the last 40, 50 years, you will find one thing in common. They all strive to bring in complete universal girls' education. Be it Japan, be it South Korea, lately China, Taiwan, all these countries did this. We came on to the bandwagon a little late in life, but I'm glad that we are there. And girls' education is extremely important. Not to say that education is not important. You know, we run one of the most complex education system in the world. If you look at the Indian education system, 14.66 lakh schools in the country. And out of this 14.66 lakh schools, 10.5 lakh schools are government and government aided, and the rest are private. About 4 lakh schools are private in the country. We have 95 lakh teachers and 25 crore children in our schools. Where does CBSE stand? CBSE is perhaps the most well-known, established, and forward-looking board in the country. We are running 28,000 schools, and out of these 28,000 schools, 250 of them are outside the country. And you have about 2 crore children, Nidhi? 2.5 crores. So, a small subset of the entire number of children are going to the CBSE schools, but then these are some of the best schools we have in the country. You are producing some of the best and innovative children who are coming out of these schools, and you are also the leader of all the boards. In the entire country, we have 62 school boards. That makes it that much more complex for people like us who are sitting in Delhi looking at it. And education has also had a legacy. What has been the legacy of it? When we gave ourselves the Indian Constitution in 1950, education was part of state. It was a state subject. Much later in 1976, when the 42nd Amendment came, education was lifted from the state and it was brought onto the concurrent list. So now, Government of India also does things for higher education as well as school education, but a certain legacy developed over that period of time. Today also, out of the 14.66 lakh schools we run in the country, Government of India just runs about 2,000. 1,250 Kendriya Vidyalayas and about 650 Navodaya Vidyalayas. The rest of the schools are either private or they are part of the state school boards. And the quality across is varying, and you can find the entire continuum in that quality. Some which are not very good at all, and some which are outstandingly good. And in between, you have everything. I often wonder, can we not create some kind of a minimum benchmark for ourselves where every school is above? That in shame, which he wrote about Pakistan, but I think it stands for anything which we want to reimagine. He writes, Pakistan may be described as a failure of the dreaming mind. Perhaps the place was just insufficiently imagined. So when you bring in an abstract concept, the abstract thing for me to say is that it should be sufficiently imagined. And we must reimagine education in India. I call myself, I'm an absolute product of the kind of education I have received. But I must say that I was rather privileged. I went to good schools. I had fantastic teachers who supported me at every bend in my life. Can we make everyone as privileged as I am? That is the question I leave before Sahodaya. May we rise collectively. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
It's my honor to welcome Shri Manoj Joshi. May I now invite Mr. Manoj Joshi to enlighten us with his perspective.
हमारी परंपराएं, गुरुकुल परंपराएं, बहुत सारे उदाहरण हैं। चंद्रगुप्त चाणक्य का उदाहरण मैं देता हूं। मैं चाणक्य का नाटक करता हूं। वही एरिस्टोटल का शिष्य सिकंदर ईसा पूर्व 320 बीसी में भारत पर आक्रमण करते आया। तक्षशिला ईरान से सटी हुई हमारी सीमाएं थी, वहां तक आया। वो जगत जीतता होने निकला था। और उसी चाणक्य का चंद्रगुप्त ये शिष्य इस खंड खंड में बटे हुए भारतवर्ष को एकत्रित करने के लिए विद्या ज्ञान जो लिया उसने, वो चाणक्य से लिया। वो जगत जीतता होने वाले उस सिकंदर को इस शिक्षक ने जो विद्या दान दिया था, उसी के बलबूते पे, उसी के आधार पे वो सिकंदर का, सेल्यूकस निकेटर का पराभव करके उस पर जीत प्राप्त कर पाया। वो केवल और केवल आचार्य चाणक्य, एक महान शिक्षक की वजह से। वही शिक्षक जब मगध में आता है और धनानंद को कहता है, मुझे भीख नहीं चाहिए धनानंद, मुझे भीख नहीं चाहिए। यदि मेरी शिक्षा में सामर्थ्य होगा तो मेरा पोषण करने वाले सम्राटों का निर्माण कर सकूंगा मैं। और शिक्षक कोई साधारण नहीं होता, जिसकी गोद में निर्माण और प्रलय दोनों एक साथ खेलते हैं। तो आपकी जिम्मेदारी बहुत है गुरुजनों, और इसीलिए हमारे यहां गुरु को गुरुर ब्रह्मा कहा है, जो भविष्य को उत्पन्न करने वाला है। गुरुर ब्रह्मा, गुरुर विष्णु, गुरुर देवो महेश्वरा। महेश्वर यानी महेश यानी कल्याणकारी देवता है। तो गुरु को ये तीन उपमाएं दी हैं। और आपको बृहस्पति भी बनना है और बृहस्पति के बेटों को यानी कच्छ को निर्माण करना है, जो शुक्राचार्य के पेट में घुसकर संजीवन विद्या सीखता है और इस देश को कल्याणकारी सचेतन जीव, सचेतन नागरिक आपको बनाने हैं। और ये आप बखूबी निभाएंगे। और इस भारतवर्ष की जो संस्कृति है, जो परंपरा है, उसका सिंचन कैसे किया जाए, इस विषय में भी देखिए। मैं भरत मुनि के नाट्य शास्त्र की एक बात करूंगा और मेरे वाणी को विराम दूंगा। आज से हजारों वर्ष पूर्व देखो, जो रटना था ना, वो रट्टा मार के कोई भी पास होता है। लेकिन एक चीज अपने दिमाग के अंदर पेनिट्रेट कैसे हो सकती है, वो एक ही चीज कर सकती है, वो है विजुअल आर्ट। यानी जो परफॉर्मेंस ओरिएंटेड आर्ट है, इसका परिणाम जीवन भर रहता है। मतलब सलमान खान यदि वो एक प्रकार का कोई गॉगल पहनता है रेबन का, तो वही फैशन बन जाती है। वो अगर ब्लू पैंट पहनता है तो अरे यार उसने ब्लू पैंट पहनती थी, पैंट पहननी चाहिए, ऐसा मान लेते हैं लोग, क्योंकि इंपैक्ट होता है। तो विजुअल आर्ट का महत्व भरत मुनि ने इतने हजार साल पहले ढूंढा था कि यदि इस मंचन के द्वारा, इस नवरसों के द्वारा, इन नवरसों के द्वारा मंचन किया जाए और किसी भी कृति को सामने रखा जाए तो उसका इम्पैक्ट, उसका परिणाम जीवन भर रहता है, वो साथ में लेके जाता है। तो विजुअल आर्ट का इंपॉर्टेंस आज पता चल रहा है, इसलिए ये री इमेजिनिंग जो है ना वो है। खैर इस पे बहुत बोला जा सकता है, मेरे पास समय की बहुत कमी है, इसलिए मैं माफी चाहता हूं। और दूसरी एक बात, मुझे ये सहोदय नाम बहुत अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सहवीर्यम करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। सबको साथ लेकर ही चलना है। तो सहोदय को भी मैं बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं देता हूं और बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं इस 29वें नेशनल एनुअल कॉन्फ्रेंस के लिए। और एक लास्ट बात कह के मैं अपना पूर्ण विराम देता हूं मेरी वाणी को, कि ये जो विष्णु पुराण का जो श्लोक था जो मैंने पहले दोहराया, सा विद्या या विमुक्तये, तो ऐसी विद्या का संचन कीजिए ये छोटे छोटे बच्चों में कि जो अपना जीवन तो मुक्त करे लेकिन औरों का जीवन भी और बहुत तरीके से समृद्ध करे और आने वाले 2030 तक ये भारत ज्ञान शक्ति की महाशक्ति बनकर उभरे। यही अभ्यर्थना, यही प्रार्थना करके मेरी वाणी को विराम देता हूं। जय हिंद, जय भारत, जय महाराष्ट्र। धन्यवाद।
Mumbai Sahodaya is indeed pleased to have Professor Dr. Shashikala Vanjari with us today. Professor Dr. Shashikala Vanjari is presently leading the National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, NIPA, New Delhi, as a Vice Chancellor. May I humbly request you to present the keynote address, ma'am.
Respected Shri Sanjar Kumar, Secretary, School Education and Literacy, Ministry of Education, Bharat Sarkar. Respected Nidhi Chibber Madam, Chairperson CBSE, Ranjana Madam, then Dr. Thomas, and the President of Sahodaya Mumbai, Rajiv Garg, and esteemed co-speakers, dignitaries, distinguished guests, and all the delegates, all the way who have come from across the country. Friends, actually the topic for this Sahodaya conference is reimagining the changing landscape, quality transformation in school education. I have changed my topic as quality transformation in secondary school education leading from the front. Must, then developing unique capabilities of each individual, developing unique 21st century skills, safety and security, exposure, etc., etc. And the last point is networking. Then come to the academic and curricular reforms as it is envisaged in NCF 23. See the slide, next slide. See the standards, National Curriculum Framework on School Education released by NCERT in 23 from the draft. It is very promising document. That document is very promising. And in that document, you could notice that these are the standards, learning outcome, competencies, curricular goals, and aims of education. So we have to acquaint the skills, the dispositions, which is expected from leaders and then from teachers. How does the NCF 23 conceptualize a learner at all levels? As one who accumulates values and dispositions, ethical and moral values, democratic and epistemic, a positive work ethic, curiosity and wonder, pride and rootedness in India. Second, capacities, inquiry, communication, problem solving, logical reasoning, aesthetic and cultural, capacities for health, sustenance and work, and for social engagement. The last is knowledge, of course, disciplinary and interdisciplinary as well. You know the curricular areas which are outlined in NCF 23. I should not take much time for that. What competencies do we need our secondary graduates to inculcate? That is also aligned, or that is also incorporated in the NCF 23. Capacities for moral reasoning and in-depth understanding of Indian knowledge system, etc., etc. Few features in curriculum for secondary level. Of course, in NCF 23. Drawing from the NEP 2020, the NCF 23 outlines the following changes in the curriculum for secondary level of education. 4 years of multidisciplinary study, where students will be offered a wide range of courses. Broad curricular areas will be offered in grade 9 and 10 to enable breadth of learning. Discipline within each curricular area will be offered at grade 11 and 12. Students will be able to invest more in their career choices. Assessment at secondary level, assessment to be designed for learning and competency. Many of the publications we have witnessed, because many of the books, many of the resource material has developed by CBSE, and we have released these documents. It is very useful material, because we need to have such kind of things, because there are different innovations are taking place, and we have to find out which is the best, which is the most effective. Assessment to be designed for learning and competency based, learners to be assessed through various methods. Then self-assessment, board examination will continue in class 10 and 12, but will be redesigned to encourage the holistic development. Introduction of semester system, etc. It is very important to have professional development, and for that, our mental readiness is very important. Friends, we know that what I could see, I witnessed many things in the domain of this education from the KG to PG. People are very reluctant to make themselves more effective leaders, more effective teachers, reflective teachers. There is a difference between reflective teacher and effective teacher. They are quite reluctant to go for their career advancement. Many of the cases are pending in the higher education domain. So therefore, you can easily understand what is the need. Professional development of principal and teachers of secondary schools, because we are sitting in the Sahodaya complex, school complexes convention. We have to understand there is urgent need to have this professional development, and you should come forward to make yourself reflective professionals, reflective administrators. Then the next point is school governance. Sahodaya school complexes of CBSE, it's an innovative approach in governance. So we'll borrow the practices of Sahodaya, or whosoever, they are doing good things in the school education. So this slide itself gives some points. Then next, because 15 minutes is given to me, a sum up on how to lead transformation in secondary school for quality education. Slide shows everything. The pedagogical excellence, enhancing student competencies across all domains, continuous professional development, technology for learning and entrepreneurship, and career guidance for a bright future. Leading from the front. Now, this slide is last slide, and you see that when we think to bring professional development, professional spirit among the teachers and administrators, these are the very important points. And if you may have that belongingness, you may think about the good administrators, how to bring changes in my personality, definitely you would get the success. The last but not the least, there is one Sanskrit quote, Yato dharmas tato jaya. Follow the rules, do your duties, and you will get the success. That is the mantra. So, who am I? Be a person in the domain of education. You complete your role, justify your duties, and definitely you would get a success. Thanks to Sahodaya Group and the host Rajiv Garg and all the members for patient listening. Thank you very much.